Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, how can you tell if you are in affair fog? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Hello, my name is Stacey and I'm an affair recovery coach, and I specialize in helping unfaithful people heal from their affair, in their affair, prevent relapse, heal their attachment wounds. That's my specialty. If you would like more information on how to work with me, check the description box below and let's get into the video. Okay, so 8 signs you are in an affair fog. My last video, if you missed it, go check it out. I describe what affair fog is, in my opinion. So now I want to give you some signs that you can look out for, that you can know that your perception and your behavior has really changed, and that you are in a slippery slope, in other words, and it's time to get out before things get worse. Okay, so number one, when you find yourself rewriting history about your marriage, like, well, I shouldn't have married him. I don't think I really loved him. Like, I don't really think I was really in love with him. I'm not sure why I married him. We don't have anything in common. That's a lot of things that I hear. Lots of things, those are things I said too. We're rewriting history, and we do that to validate why we're doing what we're doing. We justify our behavior. And again, it goes along with the change in perception and change in behavior. If you've watched that video, you know I explained to you how when you're having an affair and you are in affair fog, your perception will change and your behavior will change. So rewriting history is a part of that. And that's one of the first ways that you can know that you have entered into an affair fog / romantic relationship. So when we enter the honeymoon phase of a relationship, romantic phase of a relationship, which is stage 1 of a relationship, then that's the affair fog, okay? That you have crossed the line. Number 2 is we villainize our spouse. Not saying we didn't have problems. Yes, of course. In a marriage, you get to the power struggle stage. They are no longer the superhero. Now we see them, in their behavior, and we're not 100% happy with it. And we're like villainizing them. Like, you do this wrong, you don't do that, you do this, you don't, all of that stuff. And that also is to justify what we're doing. So basically, whatever flaw about your husband that was there before you had the affair, you're going to magnify that once you get into that state of affair fog. Okay, number 3, not being present with your family. Like, you're always in your head, you're always distracted, you're always, they're always on your mind. You're thinking about the affair, you're thinking about how you can meet them next, or if you haven't met them, how we can get together. You're just not present. You could be wrapped up in the guilt of it also, the confusion of it. You can be wrapped up in the denial of it. So you're trying to rationalize with yourself, like, no, I deserve this. I haven't been happy. They're going to leave me. Your attachment wounds are really going to start speaking to you at this point. So when you start to become really distracted, then you are headed into a deeper connection with your affair partner. So let me explain it like this. Your connection with your affair partner is what makes it so hard to walk away from them, because you're building intimacy. So you have that emotional connection with that person. It lays a foundation. And when you start to find yourself really thinking about them all the time, doing, stuff for them, or that you're building that foundation, and that's going to make it harder for you to exit the relationship. So sometimes my clients, will say, I don't know what happened. So if you're there, if you're in the flirting stage and you're starting to find yourself getting into any of these places, this is a good time to back away, because the longer you go, the more you build that intimacy, that emotional connection, the harder it's going to be to walk away. Okay, number 4, your reality is distorted. We justify our behavior in an attempt to end the uncomfortable feeling of cognitive dissonance. Meaning, when confronted with the truth, we will deny it to others and to ourselves. So I mentioned the cognitive dissonance in my last video. It's the feeling of being torn between two different beliefs, and that feeling is very uncomfortable. So what happens is, if someone confronts us with, hey, your behavior is different, or I caught you in a lie, you're going to deny that you're having an affair, and you're going to deny lying. You will gaslight, you will project, you will do whatever you can to deny that what they're saying is actually true. But you're also denying it to yourself too, because you have two opposing beliefs, and it's hard for us to believe that we're actually having an affair. Some people can't even admit that it's an affair. So that's important to notice. If you're denying you're in an affair, and you know what you're doing, like your behavior is wrong or suspicious with this person, then that's a good sign you are crossing the line and you are falling in love with this person. All right, number 5, in a really good mood. But if someone or in your family, your husband or wife, whatever, will confront you and say, hey, you've been in a good mood lately, what's going on? And you get offended, well, okay, that's a sign that you're in affair fog. You're in that romantic stage, because in the romantic stage of relationship, everything is good. We feel good. Dopamine's going strong, and we feel alive. We're so happy, and we like that feeling. But when people notice it, then you're like, okay, now I am reminded of why I feel so happy. Like, can I live in my little happy bubble without you reminding me that I'm having an affair? They don't have to tell you you're having an affair to remind you. They just have to point out the fact that your behavior has changed and now you're happy. So we can become very offended and very defensive when that happens. Number 6, you might start fights with your spouse because just random fights about nothing. It's the smallest thing, and you could fly off the handle with your spouse. And it's because you have to keep up that perception of them as being a bad person and being somebody that you don't want to be with, because you're starting to believe that your affair partner is your soulmate. That's the person that you need to be with. So you have to keep that image in your head of your husband or wife being the villain. So we're going to start fights so I can stay mad at you, because when I'm mad at you, there's no chance of me feeling maybe loving feelings towards you, and I don't want to feel any loving feelings towards you because you're going to take away my affair partner, or that might jeopardize my happiness. So I need to find ways to stay mad at you. And this is subconscious, okay? We're doing this subconsciously. We're not doing this on purpose. Let me just say that no, people who have an affair, they're not bad people. Nobody's awful. They're not bad person at their core. They're doing something that's not right, but a lot of it's coming from subconscious behavior or subconscious programming, like our core wounds, that kind of thing. Okay, so number 7, we can withdraw from our spouse emotionally. So like, I'm pulling back from you. I'm not going to allow myself to get close to you anymore because you don't meet my needs, because my affair partner's meeting my needs, and I no longer want to give you a chance to. You had your chance, you blew it. So now it's my affair partner's turn, and they're meeting my needs quite well, so I'm going to withdraw from you. I don't want you around me. I don't want to spend time with you. I don't want to do things that we used to want to do anymore, that kind of stuff. So when you notice yourself withdrawing, let that be a trigger or a clue that you're not in a good place, and it'll just keep getting worse. I'm saying worse because right now, if you're in that high, it feels good, but as time goes on, that good feeling is going to go away. And it just makes it, the longer you stay, it just makes it so hard to end it. Okay. Let me say that. Not impossible to end it, just harder, just icky. Okay. Number 8. You get annoyed with your spouse when they do nice things for you, because we need to stay angry with our spouse. We need to stay angry with them. Okay? So just note that if you find yourself